Law of the bedroom number 118. Help her reach exploding orgasm after orgasm. Every time you make love to her, remember, she comes first, always. You know, what's the best way to help your honey have an orgasm? Or multiple ones every time you have sex together? Well, in short, clitoral stimulation. Allow her body time to warm up completely, yeah. Either give her great oral sex using your tongue, slow at first, but then fast, with a no-like head motion until she comes. Or stimulate her clitoris with 1 or 2 very lubricated fingers for about 7 to 12 minutes. Be patient, stay the course, don't let up, don't stop until she comes right before your eyes. You'll know she's coming when she starts to scream out loud, "Yes, yes, I'm coming, baby, I'm coming." What's the orgasm gap? You know, it's a phrase. It's the number of orgasms a woman has compared to that of a man. You know, firing off his love milk and coming, you know. It seems most men don't care that much about their gal to try to make her come more than him, if at all. Jeez. Yeah, thanks, babe. I'll get you tomorrow, he says, selfishly. No. That's not going to be you guys. Keep this in mind. It's really easy to give a woman an orgasm. It's not that hard. You can even give her one, 2 or 3, before you get yours. And it only takes let's just say on average 10 minutes to get her to come. Well, if it only takes her 10 minutes, well, maybe give her 2 orgasms and then you get yours. Because see, guys, after they fire off their rocket fuel and release their love milk, sometimes what they call a refractory period. And that's just sort of a physical state when the guy becomes kind of sleepy and tired. And it's a biological thing. And frankly, it's a good thing, because if he didn't get tired, just by this natural occurrence of it happening, he'd keep boinking and banging and hopping and bopping and horizontal bopping and just nonstop. So just like a woman has her period once a month for a whole week, the Lord said, hey, I'm going to make these bodies here, but I'm going to give the gal a break. Once a month, I'm going to, give her some, the period and all that kind of stuff, which ain't going to be nice. But at least the guys say, okay, oh, you're going through that? Okay, don't worry, I'll leave you alone. So she gets kind of a break. And the same thing with the guy. After he releases his rocket fuel, his love milk, he goes into this state of almost like sleepiness, and it's natural, it's biological. Ladies, don't get on us for falling asleep after, we fire off our fuel into you or somewhere on your body. It's a biological thing. And that's why, guys, I prescribe to all of you, make her come first. That's why. Well, there's a lot of reasons why, but that's why you make her come first. Help her reach exploding orgasms time and time again. Let her come first, and then you can get yours. Because, you see, the goal for us guys, if I haven't given this away already, when it comes to giving your gal an orgasm, is to literally blow her mind and her mental and bodily circuits, to spin her out of control. Mentally, physically, all around and upside down in ways she's never experienced before in her entire life until she met you. And then when you start giving her these orgasms, one right after the other, anytime, on call, in fact, when you kind of go a week or 2 without giving her an orgasm, guess what happens? Number 1, she goes through sexual withdrawals. She's starting to lust for you. She wants you. I've been thinking about you. I've been thinking, I want you to boink me. I want you to do me. I want to come again. And what happens is she gets into bed. She lays there in position. You're going to get into position too to give her that orgasm. Normally it takes, 7 to 12 minutes sometimes for the clitoral stimulation, fingers twitching and bobbing back and forth on that cute little doorbell. But I'll tell you something. When she's gone without it for a couple weeks, maybe a few weeks, and she's in bed and you're doing this now, and if you applied maybe a little nipple licking plus the doorbell twitching, she can come in probably just under or at 5 minutes. Literally. I mean, I think, and hey, who knows? Who's got the record on making a woman achieve an orgasm once he put his hands on her? But in my case, I almost think like 3 minutes was the record. I was just keeping in my mind. I made a woman come in 3 to 4 minutes. It was definitely under 5 minutes. And it had been because she had not seen me in a while. And I'm not talking like a year or 6 months. I'm talking like 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. And she hadn't gotten any, and it was very exclusive, monogamous between us. And so she was only getting this outlet through me, and vice versa, exclusivity. But the point is, she was so on edge. And when you applied this technique of the clitoral stimulation, 2 fingers, very lubricated, very fast motion, back and forth, literally in like under 5 minutes, pop goes the weasel, and she was screaming out loud, yes, I'm coming. I blew her brains. I popped her circuits. She lost her mind. So guys, that's the reason why we put her first. We make sure she achieves her orgasms because we want to blow her mind. We want to blow her circuits. We want her just like screaming and grabbing that bed sheet and rolling that head back and those eyes back and arching that back and then stimulating. Her whole body is just exploding with joy. And if you can make that happen before you get yours, she'll be glad to help you come any way you want. Doggy style, on top, cowboy style, reverse cowboy, whatever. It doesn't matter. You see, great sex and loving orgasms for her help her to relax, de-stress from her day, relieve all sorts of tension and mental and physical and emotional problems she might be going through, burn calories for you, and lots more. Well, there really seems to be quite a few benefits to helping her achieve orgasms over and over again, and again, and again, and again. Guys, you've got to implement this. You've got to incorporate this. You've got to making her come, orgasm, like number one, every time you have sex. And there will be times she says, no, I don't need to come. My cup is full. I feel so great from the past 3 times yesterday. I don't need it today. But if you want some, honey, she's talking to you. I'll be glad to help you because you have just taken care of me. And So note, all women can achieve orgasms. They've probably just been with men who didn't care or didn't know how. And as many women would say, they finally stumbled onto how to orgasm by themselves, using the vibrator or their hand. Well, what kind of fun is that? They got to do half the work and they can only enjoy half, and then they don't get kissed, they don't get hugged. Nobody pulls the covers over, and they're not falling asleep in somebody's arms. They're all alone. That sucks. So, let's just real quickly go over the 4 ways to help a woman achieve orgasm. Again, we talked about direct clitoral stimulation, doorbell ringing, long, wet, rhythmic periods of time, just back and forth with those fingers. Oral sex, masturbating her out of her sexy mind into delights of orgasmic bliss. Number 2, vaginal stimulation through intercourse. Doesn't always work per se, but if there's enough love rocket, thrusting, injection, friction, stimulating her G-spot from maybe doing it doggy style, or maybe she's on top, riding it ooh, good sticking hard. Yeah, she might be able to achieve an orgasm. Maybe. But that's really in her hands. It's 50-50. The odds aren't that great. Vaginal stimulation of the G-spot with your fingers. That's possible. Slide those 2 fingers in there. Come here motion. Stimulating that G-spot. It probably is more of a stimulational kind of thing. Doesn't really help her achieve the big O. Especially when you want to call it like the guaranteed orgasm. Like guaranteed. You put your fingers on that clit and you do your business, and she's going to come in about 10 minutes. Number 4, combination. And this one is really hot. This one's really, really hot. Guys, check this out. The combination. Clitoral stimulation with your free hand for as long as she likes, while you slide your pipe into her love moist wet cherry box of pink wet love. Basically, you're sliding your stallion into that pink box. And while it's erect in there and slid in, you've got your 2 fingers on her doorbell. And you're laying on your side and she's on her back and you're kind of underneath her. Your legs are underneath her bent legs, which are bent, and you're underneath slid. You'll figure it out. And you've got your other arm wrapped underneath her, kind of like hugging her, so bringing her in close. But I'll tell you something, when she's got that schlong, long joystick candy cane inside her and the fingers stimulating her on the outside, that combination, she's going to explode. Big time. Big time. Well, I'll tell you what. I'm just going to repeat the title of this Law of the Bedroom 118. Help her reach exploding orgasm after orgasm every time you make love to her. And remember, she always comes first.